Hello everyone. Today I would like to read out the 18th chapter titled Way to the Dark Roads from my manuscript The Imprisonment. This is a fictional story created for awareness and storytelling. It does not promote or justify any form of crime or harmful activity. Viewer discretion is advised. I'd like to read out the story. Archana returned to the cell. This time, she did not sit in Anamika's cell. She walked closer to Samir's cell, asked the security guards for a chair, and sat outside waiting for him to continue. Samir was inside reading a book. He looked up briefly, first at Anamika, then at her empty chair, and smiled. A plain, emotionless smile, one that spoke more than words. Anamika watched quietly. She too was waiting. Samir began. So the little Chotu walked with the cops, but not handcuffed. People on the streets were shouting, saying the place was becoming unsafe because of thieves like me. I never had a chance to speak. One of the cops was kind. He picked me up in his arms and carried me into a neat room. There was a lady sitting there. She looked at my shabby clothes but never showed any aversion. I was asked to sit beside her. She gave me chocolates and some clean clothes from a wardrobe. They looked like donated clothes, but to me, they were a luxury. She spoke to me silently, told me I should never take what doesn't belong to me. She never called me a thief. For the first time in my life, someone spoke to me with kindness and concern. I wished I could stay there longer. She gave me food, some toys, and then I was sent back. My parents were waiting outside. She spoke to them while I played outside. At that time, I didn't know who she was. He paused. Too much kindness didn't work in my favor either. Kindness without escape is only a pause, not a rescue. I could have learned something better. My parents could have moved away, but they didn't. They stayed in the same place, and by then people had already named me the little thief. Silence lingered. Then, one day, a man from the same locality approached me. He wanted me for his pickpocketing business. He offered money to my parents and promised I would be safe. My parents agreed half heartedly. They had no choice. He had power and we had none. So I stepped into that life. I learned quickly, very quickly. Maybe if I had been taught something else, I would have learned that too. But fate had its own plan. I became an expert in pickpocketing. My innocent face helped, and so did my skill. I became popular in the crowd and infamous in my own community. When I was 6, I was taught again and sent back to the same lady. At that time, I still couldn't read or write. Later, I came to know that she was from the Child Welfare Committee. She warned my parents, told them to change, told them to keep me away from that environment. And from then on, I was watched more closely. But that man, he was careful. He used his influence so that most complaints never became official records. Many cases never went beyond the police station. As long as he lived, my name rarely appeared anywhere. Our reputation was already damaged. No one offered my parents work, not even small jobs. They stayed with what they knew, begging, and I continued. I expanded into other things. By 15, I was established. I earned enough for all of us to live comfortably. We moved into a rented house. My father had a two-wheeler. He made sure I learned to read and write. It helped his business grow. He had no family. He treated me like his own son, and I made sure he never got caught. Silence filled the corridor. Archana and Anamika listened without a word. Two guards nearby whispered, "What a bluff master." Born criminal, Samir heard them. He looked straight at them. "Bluff master?" he said calmly. "Maybe. I learned to wrap my work in fear. But look at me now, trapped. I'm not here for you to believe my story. I know my past. And I'm not here because you caught me. I chose to surrender. That is why I'm here." The guards fell silent. They looked at him, then at Archana and smiled faintly. Archana said nothing, but something inside her was shifting. She felt it, a quiet, growing sympathy. His story felt real, and part of it were already supported by what she had heard before. Anamika looked at him, this time without judgment, only a silent smile. It was time to leave. Archana walked towards the gate. Her heart felt heavy, but her mind was already waiting for the next day, for the rest of the story. That's all for the day. Do let me know your thoughts about the story by writing in the comment section. Thanks for watching and thanks for your time.